Emmitt Smith should be ashamed of himself. Somebody needs to say it, so damn it, I'm going to say it. And he should wipe that damn smile off his face that he had on it when he was saying what he was saying. You don't talk about a man's mama. You don't talk about his woman. You don't talk about his money.
Hey, thanks for watching Numbskull News. Today, we're talking about Emmitt Smith. He weighed in on the Dak Prescott contract crap. And according to him, Dak should take a pay cut. Well, of course, that caused all the media shows to go nuts and start talking about that topic, since there's not a whole lot else going on right now. So let's dive into that.
Emmitt Smith is being a hypocrite for sure. It's no question.
Hypocrite. That's where a lot of the media people have gone to. I'd say about half of them think that Emmitt's a hypocrite, but he's not. All right, when Emmitt Smith held out, there's no salary cap. You can already tell he's a future Hall of Famer. He's a Super Bowl champion. There's every reason in the world for Emmitt to try to get his money. Dak's a quarterback. Dak's going to make the majority of the money on the team, period, end of story. So to me, it's kind of apples and oranges. It's not equitable.
And I see great potential because I love the young man. But I also would love it if he went Brady-esque, because that's how you win Super Bowls with an S on it. Tom Brady last year made a grand total of $23 million. Yes. That was by far the most he's ever made in 20 years.
Okay. Old Skip took what Emmitt Smith said and turned it into exactly the correct point. I don't agree with Skip Bayless on a whole lot of things. However, he's right on this, that if Dak Prescott would just look at what Tom Brady has done throughout his career, it makes total sense for him to take a little bit less so that you could fill out the rest of the roster with really high quality talent and keep talent surrounding Dak. That's when Dak will have his best chance of winning.
You say that like Brady took this with the assurances and the guarantees he's going to win Super Bowl.
And of course, there is no, Shannon's right. There is no assurances. There wasn't no assurances when Tom Brady made those deals. However, you have to play the odds. All right, and this is what Bill Belichick is great at. That's his secret sauce. He always plays the odds. And if you can get better backups, if you can get not just one high-priced player, but several medium-cost players around you, instead of your quarterback eating up all the money, well, then that increases your odds and your chances of winning. And that's exactly what the Patriots have done.
Correct.
So you saying if Tom Brady had not taken less money, they wouldn't have went to these Super Bowls?
Absolutely not. It maximizes the personnel director, who happens to be Belichick's, ability to mix and match around you with higher contracts. Were they leaving money on the table on their salary cap? No, they were not.
That kind of just goes to my point. Bill Belichick used that money for better backups, better special teams players. It's not all the sexy players, but you have a team full of really good players, a lot of glue guys on that team. That's why they're in it every year.
They don't pay anybody.
Okay, are you trying to tell me that Bill Belichick used half his salary cap? Because they were always at the max. I don't know exactly how it was divvied.
I'm saying Bill got like 40, 50 million in a coffer somewhere.
That doesn't even make sense. Is he putting it under the mattress?
But my point...
Well, is that what you're saying?
No, yeah, I'm saying... Skip.
Okay, are you telling me that Bill Belichick annually left half his salary cap on the table?
Skip.
Did he not use his salary cap?
I don't really know how the salary cap really works.
Oh, my God. I love Shannon Sharp. All right, don't get me wrong, but I'm a fan of all these guys when it comes down to it, even when I shouldn't be. I've never played in the NFL. I am no Hall of Famer. I never played in college. I'm a nobody. And even me, just a regular, everyday, stupid fan, I at least know the basics of the salary cap. You have the maximum. You have that cap line that you can't go over. That's the most you can spend. And then right underneath that is the salary cap minimum. You have to spend the majority of your cap, the vast majority of it, every year. You don't have to go all the way up to the limit, but you got to spend most of that. I just don't understand how Shannon Sharpe, who's an intelligent man, doesn't know that. And the points he was trying to make is they don't pay anybody. They don't bring in the big free agents. Instead of spending all their money on one or two players, they're going to spread that over the entire defense or the entire offense.
He's giving them good advice because he's looking at it from the perspective of, I didn't realize when I was playing the value of being a Cowboy.
And guess what he's making off the field? I can't do it exactly because they don't divulge, but Adam Schefter reported that he makes a grand total of $50 million, including an insurance policy. But most of the $50 million.
The $50 million is if he got hurt, Skip. So you
Okay,
can't
but
count
it's
that.
not. No, but most of it is from the endorsement deals.
Yes.
Okay, again, Shannon Sharpe doesn't know what he's talking about. But yeah, there is incredible value playing for the Cowboys. Let me give you examples. All right, Skip just said he makes $50 million minus the money for the insurance policy that he has. Let's say it's about $20 million he makes in endorsements. Tom Brady makes $6 million a year. Russell Wilson makes $9 million a year. And Aaron Rodgers makes $9 million a year in endorsements. Dak Prescott makes $20 million at the minimum. He's not an elite player. He's not an elite quarterback. He's not at those guys' levels, but he is making more than double their money off the field because he has a star on his helmet. And now he wants to make more money than everybody else on the field. So you get where Emmitt Smith, where Jerry Jones are coming from. Emmitt Smith is not just being some corporate shill for Jerry Jones. That's not Emmitt. If you know anything of Emmitt's background, he doesn't do that. What he's trying to tell this punk is that you do make a lot more than any other quarterback off the field. And you would make even more once you start winning. We're talking about getting to NFC championships, getting to Super Bowls, God forbid, bring home a Lombardi trophy. Just increase the odds of you being able to do that. You take 5, 6, God forbid, $10 million less than you're trying to get right now. Let the Cowboys spread that around. Spread it to their special teams. Spread it to the defense. And as the CBA and as everything goes up, that's even more money you can spread around the team around Dak for him to have maximum success. Because success on the field with the star on your helmet, you can get into LeBron James territory as far as endorsements. It's ridiculous that Dak just won't listen.
So he's making lots of. Why do you think Dak Prescott has been so adamant and dug in about holding out? It's because he's making a ton of money already.
Skip.
You think he needs the money? He does not need the money.
I don't like the idea of taking a pay cut because of endorsements. So you trying to tell me that if I were to get $35 million, Campbell's Soup should come to me and say, hey, man, you're making so much money over there. You should take this endorsement for less.
And Marcellus Wiley probably has the most disingenuous and stupid argument of the whole thing. No, that's not how it works. You see, Dak has that Campbell's Soup endorsement and is making so much more than everybody else off the field not because he had a career year last year, not because he's 8-8, not because of team success the previous 3 years. It's because he has the star on his helmet. But Jerry's just saying, look, man, I'm bringing incredible value to you. If I franchise tag you and trade you to Tampa Bay, what do you think happens to those endorsements, Dak? They start to dry up. When those deals run out, guess what? They're not going to re-sign you for the same money. Your Campbell's Soup is probably not going to come back around to you. They're going to look for that other guy. Maybe Patrick Mahomes, maybe Lamar Jackson, maybe Deshaun Watson. But they're not going to go to a guy who's barely maybe a top 10 quarterback. They're looking for elite talent or a really good quarterback with a star on his helmet. That's what Jerry Jones provides when he brings you into the organization. A chance for you to make ungodly amounts of money and all kinds of opportunities when you retire. This is the thing Emmitt Smith knows. You just got to be wise enough to take that kind of advice.
CBA's going up, values and contracts are going up, quarterbacks are getting paid more. Dak deserves his value, and Emmitt knows that better than anybody.
No, apparently, Emmitt doesn't know that better than anybody. Emmitt sees what everyone else sees. Dak Prescott's a good quarterback, but he's pretty damn far from being an elite guy. And the last thing you want to do is pay a non-elite quarterback elite money. And we've seen it time and time and time again. People talk about Jared Goff and people talk about Carson Wentz. You know, they got money they shouldn't get. Now it's hurting their respective teams. But that stuff's been going on for years and years and years. The one smart thing the Redskins did was not give Kirk Cousins a gigantic contract, knowing that he could never live up to it. Why isn't Dak Prescott signed today? Because Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, Will McClay, and the Dallas Cowboys know damn well he's not on that level. He needs a lot of help around him. He needs a lot of good players around him.
We're
They have $80 million in cap space, the fifth most in the league. They have the money.
My issue, they got the money. Let me just say, I understand what you're saying.
Now, Molly, what is her name? Molly Qerim, whatever. Molly Qerim. She seems to annoy a lot of people on YouTube. I've seen a lot of videos. She doesn't really annoy me. Usually when she interjects herself, she is trying to make a point, and she is a knowledgeable woman. I actually think she's actually into sports. And here she makes a valid point. The Cowboys do have the fifth most salary cap room in the league, $80 million. But that's just for 1 year. Seasons after that you got to pay other players. Do you want to try to bring in free agents? And everyone knows when you go after a free agent, you're going to have to overpay for that guy to bring him in. And you still got to sign all your draft picks coming up. So that $80 million goes really quick, especially when one of them's a quarterback.
$35 million to 33, I'll take that. 35 to 28, I'm not taking that pay cut. That's way too much of a pay cut to take.
And everyone keeps talking about pay cuts for Dak Prescott. He's made $4 million on the field the last 4 years. If he does what Emmitt Smith suggests and takes $28 million, that's for 1 year. So it's not a pay cut.
Emmitt knows if they give Dak $35 million, there will be a percentage, 20, 30, 40. Half the team will be like, damn, they paid Dak that? He don't deserve it.
Now, Jason Whitlock tried to bring up another point, that there will be a lot of jealousy within the locker room. Everyone will think that Dak doesn't deserve it. No, Dak's a very, very well-liked player. He is a good leader. He's a good locker room guy. And if he got, let's say he got $38 million a year, the players in the locker room, at least for the first year or two, are going to have his back and they'll play for him. Where his point would become valid is in the first 2 years, the Cowboys start this decline because all the money's going to Dak and he can't elevate a team, and it becomes apparent because these players, they're not stupid. When they see they have a quarterback that can't get it done, yet they're eating up all the money, and these players can't get paid because Dak got paid, then you'll get drama. Then there'll be some locker room problems.
Is Dak Prescott the reason the Dallas Cowboys have been the dysfunctional mess that they have been for years, if not decades? That his fault?
And Stephen A. is trying to get Dak's back here a little bit. He got highly pissed off that Emmitt Smith dared to talk about Dak's money. Well, Emmitt Smith can talk about whatever he would like to talk about. He's got a Hall of Fame jacket. He's got 3 rings. Super Bowl MVPs, league MVP, all-time rushing champ. He can talk what he wants to talk about. The way Stephen A. is trying to get his back here, say, well, it's not his fault the Cowboys haven't won in 25 years. Well, no one's saying it is. No one's saying Dak Prescott sucks. I mean, I'm saying that Dak Prescott's a pretty good quarterback. I would like to keep him at a reasonable rate.
The man threw for nearly 5,000 yards last year, 30 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. They had the number 2 passing attack in the National Football League. They had...
Yeah, a lot of the defenders of Dak make that case that he was the number 2. Well, who was the number 1? Jameis Winston. And you know what? It doesn't matter, what your numbers are. The only number that matters is 8 and 8. That's it. Dak Prescott went 9 and 7 when Zeke Elliott had to miss 6 games. Dak couldn't win without him. This year, the offense ran through Dak. They took the ball out of Zeke's hands most of the time and put it more into Dak's. That's why you got all the numbers. But what happened to the record? Now you go 8-8. So you featured Dak Prescott more than you ever have. And you go from 12 wins, 9 wins, 10 wins. Now you're at 8 wins. For the first time, Dak Prescott does not have a winning season. And that's because the offense featured Dak Prescott. That's why you can't pay this guy top of the market money.
You got Jerry Jones taking care of linebackers. You got Jerry Jones taking care of offensive linemen. Ezekiel Elliott getting in trouble, embarrassing the franchise with his headlines is in Cabo. You give this brother $90 million, $50 million guaranteed.
Well, now look who's counting other people's money. All right, well, let's go over these guys. You got a center, you got a right tackle, a right guard, and a left tackle that all got paid. Lyle Collins didn't get paid like the top right tackle in the league. He got top 5 money. You can make the case he's a top 5 right tackle. I'm not the biggest fan, but you can make that case. But the center got paid like the best center in the league because arguably he's the best center in the league. The right guard got paid like the best guard in the league because he's the best guard in the league. The left tackle got paid like the best left tackle in the league because at the time he was the best left tackle in the league, and today he's still a top 5 left tackle. At no point has Dak Prescott been the top quarterback in the league. At no time has he been a top 5 quarterback in the league. We're not talking Patrick Mahomes here. Let him go to Tampa Bay and make $2 million a year in endorsements instead of $50 million.
In his 4 years, he's never missed a game. He's been a model citizen. He's conducted himself with professionalism and beyond. He's been a face and a steady influence on the franchise. And
for any franchise quarterback, that's kind of the requirement. You don't get in trouble. You don't get arrested. You don't go to jail. You don't fail drug tests. You don't beat women. You're a good locker room guy. You're a leader. You don't miss games. You're available. That's part of the job. Am I supposed to give you just a big old pat on the back for doing what you're supposed to do? How is that a defense of Dak Prescott? Is that worth $40 million?
Hey, we need more than just that.
That was play calling.
Hold on.
And of course, Molly in the background. And there's another big defense of Dak. Well, all the play calling. Of course, he went 8-8, but isn't that play calling? Wasn't it play calling when he was 12-4 his rookie season? Well, how about when he won 10 games 2 years ago, won a playoff game? Wasn't that part of the play calling too?
Let's just say, for the sake of argument, Dak was Andy Dalton, and he was playing terrible, and hadn't gone to the playoffs, and hadn't won a playoff game. Do you think he'd have all these national spots?
And I wanted to end with this clip because I don't know at that point if Shannon really understands what he's talking about. The thing is, Dak Prescott makes more money off the field than every elite quarterback in the league. And he's nowhere near what Drew Brees was, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson. And he makes way more money than all those guys. And he's nowhere near as talented. He does not have the wins. He doesn't have the Super Bowl appearances or wins. How do you explain it? The star on the helmet. That's why. It's the only reason why. And I'm glad he brought up Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton had a very similar career path like Tony Romo and like Dak Prescott. There was a time when Andy Dalton was winning a ton of games. Now, he was surrounded with a ton of talent all around him. A pretty good coach, conservative coach, conservative professional coach, just like Jason Garrett. And for several years, they won their division and won a plethora of games in the playoffs every year. Couldn't buy a win. Andy Dalton probably made $5.30 total off the field. I mean, he's made nothing off the field. Now, if he had played for the Cowboys with the same record, kind of like Dak, kind of like Tony Romo, they would have the highest endorsements in the league. Andy Dalton would be making a butt ton of money off the field if he had that star. But he doesn't. The Bengals don't sell. All right, Oiko's yogurt is not calling your name. Sleep Number isn't calling for you. You know, Campbell's Chunky Soup isn't hoping to get the next Cincinnati Bengals quarterback on their roster. No. The Cowboys get more shine and more spotlight than any other any other team in the league. They are on prime time more than anybody else. And they are global, worldwide. Everybody, you go to Moscow, Dallas Cowboys. Whoa, Cowboys. Everyone knows who the Cowboys are. It's like everyone knows who the Lakers are. Everyone knows who the Yankees are. But the longer this goes on, and the more things that I hear, the more I think about it, I'm really starting to pull for Dak Prescott to not be back with the Cowboys. He does not appreciate that star on the helmet. He does not understand. Well, I shouldn't say he doesn't understand. I think he full damn well understands the value of the Cowboys. And he's a guy that just wants every last dollar. It's for the first time, he's really showing me that he's a me guy and not a we guy. And it's really turning me off on the guy. He's not good enough for that. And I think it will be a big mistake if the Dallas Cowboys re-sign Dak Prescott anywhere north of $30 million a year. And of course they probably will. We can hope, we can pray that, we find another option. Anyway, that's all I got on that. That's all I got on Mr. Greedy Dak Prescott. I'll be back with some other crap sometime. Bye.